Roketsan's ALKA system,
you.
ALKA system, neutralizes modern threats like micro and mini drones featuring detection radars capable of tracking up to 100 targets simultaneously. This is a collaboration with Ermaksan, Turkey's laser powerhouse, which is equipping ALKA with pinpoint accuracy in day and night operational capabilities. This thing's going to be effective. We talked about drone swarms earlier, but this is going to be effective against drone swarms, providing close range air defense, 750 to 1500 meters, I think it was, and really kind of supports Turkey's broader Steel Dome defense initiative. Mass production did begin last year in 2023 with plans to export ALKA to allied nations. Really, their focus on domestic technology strengthens its national security. I'm going to have to do some digging on when this is going to be delivered.
This is really cool. I mean, a really specialized directed energy weapon.
Yeah.
For me, I love it as an isolated instance. I think it sounds really cool. But for me, you've got to go into mass production. You've got to get into it at scale without losing performance consistency. And that, for me, is number one challenge.
I agree that you're going to have to make a lot of these, but what happens when you make a lot of them, except that they are now basically useless because those things they're trying to counter have already evolved past them. So you've got to make sure that you're keeping up with the ever-evolving, rapidly evolving drone technology, because new drone tech comes out, as quick as you can blink. So in this frontier of, and I can't believe we're in a world where I can say we have practical directed energy weapons, but we're here now. In this world of these kind of directed energy weapons, how do you ensure that they stay relevant as the targets and the stuff they're trying to defend against keep evolving?
Yeah, I mean, you're right, but for me,
you had to ruin it with a but.
Yeah, for me, the issue here is still scalability, because it's better to have something that's 90% deployed en masse than 100% at one. Otherwise, you send the weapon to your enemy. Could you just come over here? Because I've got the best weapon detection system here ever. No, I don't want to go where you want me to go. So I'm sticking with it. It's what is that? It's defense contracts and just not going to wait for late shipments. So scaling production, maintaining that precision and performance, make sure that that weapon is fielded on time, meeting those immediate defense needs, and exporting and export demands without actually compromising their reliability. So that, to me, is the big one.
But what's the point of scaling if your product is out of date when you scale it?
Only just a little out of date.
But then it gets more out of date and more out of date. I think what we need here is a merger of the minds, a crossing of the streams, a way to ensure both an evolving design and a scalable, quick production of that design.
Okay, so we're looking at a collective critical thread AI solution that takes care of scalability and relevance for the real time. So yeah, you've got your requirements traceability needs to be in there. You've got your process planning and bill of process. So AI there is going to refine the manufacturing workflows for those laser components, make sure the steps are all optimized for consistent energy output and targeting accuracy. That way we're starting to take care of pulling through everything. And I think that's really relevant. So if the requirements are up to date, you are automatically connecting them through to planning and bill of process, ready for manufacturing. You're going to simulate it all anyway, and then make sure your supply chain is coordinated with the demand aspects of it. Make sure it's delivering on time. And then ultimately a mess mom for your production management, making sure those schedules and that scalability is maintained at the volume and the demand levels up to date with all of that kind of requirements as you've been banging on about.
And that's one of those areas where if we're talking about a design that could change, that means that the things needed to make that design can change. So using AI in the supply chain to have it keep track of these changes in your product and how that might affect your supply going down the road is something I think really should be considered here. I know you touched on it slightly. I just wanted to emphasize that that's a case where it could be incredibly important.
I'm surprised that you didn't put more emphasis on the mess mom solution, right? I mean, difficult to do that if you difficult to manufacture at scale and make sure that you're delivering a prime product if you don't have that in place successfully.
I think what we're hearing consistency is we know there's no point solution that fixes the whole problem. I mean, Brian was right. He's got the weapon's got to the detection system's got to remain relevant, but then you've got to do it at scale, which also demands your supply chain supplying in time. So you've got to have a critical thread with an AI solution on top of it, and then away you go. So yeah, you're right. I mean, we could have spent a lot of time on every one of those. See you next week.